In today's video, I'm going to show you how the CAGED system connects to the major scale. I'm going to play the major scale within each shape here. We'll start off with the C shape. Now we're going to play in the key of G here today. But all this C shape means is that it's like a C chord shape. You see your C chord like this. We're going to bring it all the way up. Right here. Bring it all the way up to G right here. Just like that. Key of G, just like this. So it's a G, but it's a C in the C shape. Now you could play the major scale within this shape right here, and it's really good to know. So if you see that red dot, hopefully you see that. I mean, I'm partially colorblind, but I could see that. Red and black right there. Follow the graph right here, and there's the C, there's the root, and there's the octave root right there. There's so many ways to play the major scale. Here's one really good way of playing it, because you know this chord, or this shape right here. You have the A shape, which is like this. You have your A chord like here. If you go all the way up to here, to the G area, that's a G chord with this A shape. So you can play the major scale right off of this note. Follow it all the way through down. It's good to know just from A, just the roots. You have this A from root to root. Because you never know what area you're going to be in. You never know what finger you're going to be in. So it's good to know. Oh, you might be over here. Same notes. Alright, we got two. So then we go to the next one here. We have this G shape. So just like a G, slide this all the way up to here. Well, it is a G. We're in the key of G here, so let's just do it right here. G shape. Actually, let's go all the way up to here, because I don't want to play the open strings down here like that. So we play just like this. Great way to play the major scale. There's a few fingerings to play the major scale, and it's good to know all of them. But here's one of them, and it really connects well with the chord shape, as you can see. E shape, we can go back down here for this one. So as you can see, there's an E shape. Like if you were playing an E chord, you just slide it all the way up here. Just like that. Here's the scale. Fits perfectly. The scale's like, if you're right in this position, you could just play it. Barely have to move your hand. And then there's one more, the D shape, because we spelled out CAGED, C-A-G-E-D. And then we have this one right here, which is like, just like here. Here's your D shape, right? Just like here's a D. If we play that all the way up here to the G, here's a G chord, same shape. If you play this D with your thumb over like you normally do, right? A lot of people do that. Play the third on the bottom. It's the same thing all the way up here. So here's the scale right here, and those red notes are the root right there. You can go down too. There it is right there. And in a second, I'm going to go ahead and put on this G chord loop and just play through all of those shapes right there and show you how it's really cool. And then I have another loop of a 1-4-5, a G, C to a D, and we can play a 1-4-5 progression using just that major scale. It's not like the blues where you're going to play 3 different scales over it. You're going to play just the one major scale over a G, then a C, then a D, back to a G. Almost like bluegrassy type of thing. So if you're enjoying this video so far, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Now let's try this loop out, see what this sounds like here. Major scale right there, over a G chord. I'm doing. G shape. Got the E shape. About the G shape. If you want a PDF, email me at info@jerrycherry, and I'll send you a PDF of these graphs so you could have them without having to watch this video. Just have the PDFs practice too. Now here's another cool thing. If you take another progression, like this one, like a 1-4-5. You could play the major scale right through that whole progression. Right there. We start off with the C shape, right here. chord. Basically the same thing over all of the different shapes that you have right there. It's a really, really cool practice. I didn't really want to get too deep into a modal thing right here. I just want to focus on the major scale, but as the chords were changing, I was thinking of what they were and trying to target some notes. It's kind of a natural thing to try to do that. But, you know, when you're playing this shape right here, this G chord, or this A shape G scale, when it goes to the C chord, within this shape, within the same exact pattern, I'm playing this G. When it goes to a C, within this scale, well, where is the C in here? Well, here's the G, here's the C. So I'm kind of targeting the note within the scale, just so that it sounds good right there. So when it goes to C, I'm hitting the C here. And it goes to the G, to a D chord. When it goes to a D chord, there it is right there. But I'm playing all the same notes of the G major scale. So just kind of toying around with it like this. These positions are really good to know. These CAGED system, which is the whole point of this video, is to really know every shape. You know, the C shape right here, major scale. Because you're going to be here. That's the whole idea. That's really what's important here too, is that you're here, you're playing here. Know the scale. You're playing here. Know it here. You're playing here. No, play it here. You're playing here. You're here. If you haven't checked out my guitar course, Essential Skills Collection for Guitar, it just has 4 topics: fretboard memorization, easiest way to learn the fretboard; circle of fifths, does the same thing, but it shows you how to play easily in 12 different keys, all different keys; and blues soloing, where we focus on vibrato and bending strings and how to play over 12-bar blues. So there's lots of chord progressions, lots of PDFs and backing tracks, and then we work on the CAGED system with 2-5-1s. How to do those shapes all over the neck as well. So check that out. There's a link in the description for that. I would appreciate that. Let me know if you have any questions about this stuff, if you have any gripes, any concerns. You keep that to yourself. No, I'm just kidding. And any ideas for future. I go live every Sunday. Be cool, be kind, and be cherry. And if you want to see another video on how to connect the 5 major pentatonic scales with the CAGED system, I'll put that up there for you. Have a great week. I love yous, and I'll see you next time. Peace, guys. Yeah.